Good day, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic open day. We are busy with our intermediate phase for grade 4 up until grade 7. We'd like to welcome our viewers and obviously our panel that is representing different subjects. I'm going to allow them each say 2 seconds just to introduce yourself and what subject you are teaching within SEET Academy. I think we'll start with Claire and then Zoe. Zoe, then just down, Rolene, and go further. Can we start with Claire first? Claire?
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Melissa, for introducing me. My name is Claire Jooster, and I am the Academic Director for Foundation and Intermediate Phase in SEET Academy. So I work with from grade R all the way up until our grade 6 learners, which to me is the most exciting stage because you get the little itty bitty babies and then you get the just before we become teenagers age. And I think that that's the most exciting two groups to work with. My role in SEET Academy, as I said, I am the academic director. So I am responsible for everything academic wise in the background of ensuring that we follow the policies we need to, following the directions from the Department of Education as to what we should be teaching, how we should be teaching it, and when we should be teaching it every term. And that's it. Thank you very much. Over to you, Zoe.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zoe Jurgens, and I am the intermediate phase head, as well as one of the English tutors for this phase. So basically, apart from me actually just teaching English as the subject, I basically fall under Claire in terms of helping her to get the academic side of things running smoothly for this particular phase. Because she is the director of foundation and intermediate. So for one person that can be a lot. So the extra help is where I come in for this phase and the tutors. Yeah, so that's me. I think we'll move on to Rolene now.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rolene Wilkinson. I'm an Afrikaans tutor for grade 4-6. I'm the one that teaches the beautiful South African language, the language that is not spoken much, but that we want to keep in South Africa, keep it going, keep it strong. So I'm the one that will teach Afrikaans. Thank you.
Arena?
Greetings, everyone. My name is Rina Mangani. I'm a tutor for Sepedi. I tutor Sepedi across all phases, which means I tutor Sepedi from foundation phase up to the FET phase. When it comes to my approach, I always make sure that I tailor my teaching approach according to the learner's individual needs. I make sure that I get to know my learners. I make sure that I understand their background on the particular language and make sure I tailor to them according to their background knowledge, because in SEET Academy we have different learners with different individual needs, and I therefore make sure that I tailor to them according to their different needs. And I also have learners who do not have the background knowledge in Sepedi, like learners who have never done Sepedi before. So I make sure I translate everything to them, and in that way, and I also make sure that I compliment them. Those who do not understand the language, I make sure I compliment them and tell them that they're doing well, let them know that they got this, and in this way it helps them allay their frustrations and their insecurities and doubts in the language.
Thank you so much for that, Rena. And just, I know even though we don't have our Sesotho isiXhosa isiZulu tutors online with us, that still form part of the intermediate phase. So we do still offer those languages. It's just that they are not present today because they do teach, like Rena, they teach across the board with all phases. So it's easier just to have them intermingling with different phases throughout our open day session. So, Lindley, if you can just give a short introduction on the subject and who you are, please.
Good day, everyone. My name is Lihiriti Kanyile. I am a tutor at Seat Academy. I tutor life skills as well as social sciences. Sorry that my connection is a bit slow, so I've been hearing bits and pieces, but I will try my best to be part of the session.
Not a
Thank you.
problem. Thank you so much for that. Pamela's been with us for a while now. Pamela, short introduction.
Hi, you should all know me. My name's Pamela Kisa, known as Mam Pam. I taught NST last year for the intermediate phase. I'm now teaching math from grade 4 to 7, and I can't agree with Claire anymore. You get from the babies who are so eager just to finish their book and want to do more, and you get to the grade 6s. Sorry, I said 7s. You get to the grade 6s, and they are still learning and grasping, and it's a wonderful journey.
Awesome.
I enjoy teaching each and every child, and one thing I can say about CITSA is we stand by no bully policy, and I have seen that with my own eyes. It does get taken up as it should be.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Pam. Monique Thorani, you were with us yesterday as well for coding. Small introduction there, Monique.
Hi, Melissa. Hi, Claire. Zoe. Nice to be back. Yes, I'm Miss Stron, and I'm teaching foundation phase grade 2 and 3 coding, as well as intermediate 4, 5, and 6.
Awesome stuff. Thank you for that. And last but not least, Herbert, welcome back. Haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing? Unmute yourself, Herbert.
There we are. Yeah, it takes a while to get used to these things, but I'm there. Yeah, no, thanks, Melissa. My name is Herbert Ron. I teach the most interesting subject that you can find in the world. That's natural sciences and technology. I think the kids really enjoy it. I have to force them to leave my classes, but that's what I teach from grade 4 to grade 6, natural sciences and technology.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for that, Herbert. So, as you know, today is all about our tutors, all about the subjects that you are teaching, what you are doing in your classes. I mean, being online, going from a mainstream school where there is physical interaction with a tutor or teacher and kids in a classroom to going online is quite a big step for certain kids that has never done something like this. So, if it is possible, you can just put up your hand, and then I will obviously give you a chance just to say whatever you want to say. But anybody with regards to what makes your class different and how do you keep your kids engaged? What fun activities do you incorporate in your classes? Anything that you would like to showcase about you as a person and your class? Anybody? Yes, Rolene, go.
I think with a lot of especially the intermediate phase students, I found with just having discussions with them that a lot of them were bullied at school when they went to a physical school. And the fact that they can come, be online, be comfortable at home, and not have to face that is a big advantage for online schooling and for CTSA. Also, they enjoy showcasing their pets. So we normally we try once a month or so, especially in the beginning of a term. they love to show off their pets, their cats, their dogs. Some have rats and hamsters. One of the boys had a snake, a pet snake that he actually showed us in class. So I think that
Wow.
also makes us different. The fact that, the students can just relax. The parents, they're not strapped because there's no uniform. There's not all these textbooks that they have to budget for at the beginning of a year. So I think that is really what makes us different as an online school.
Awesome stuff. And if I may ask, Roland, what do you do? I'll switch over to you, Pam, now. Roland, what makes your class, what do you do in class that's different? I know yesterday when we had the foundation phase, I teased some of the tutors with regards to, I even had Roxanne singing to us because apparently she sings in a class. So I'm like, come on, sing. What do you do in
Well, I do a little bit of singing, but I just say "Goeiemorgen" and then that's it. Because but I think what makes it different is that I try at least once a week. Normally, it's the last lesson of the week, just to do something different that's not Afrikaans, because a lot of the students that we have, this is their third language. It's not their second. So just to make them comfortable, we'll do like a general knowledge quiz, and they love it. They from grade 4 to 6, they really love doing that. So I think that's what makes my classes different. The fact that they are not bound to speaking Afrikaans, but that all our videos that are pre-recorded is just in Afrikaans. And then in our live lessons, we then translate everything so that they understand, they can ask questions, but just so they feel comfortable, because it's really, for a lot of those students, it's a very difficult language for them to learn. And then they've also got all the different African languages as well. So just, my goal is just to make them feel comfortable, at ease, and to enjoy the class.
Awesome stuff. Thank you. Pam, you had your hand up there?
So what I do in the grade 4 class is I ask them to make the longest number, but it has to be a number that you can say. And most of them just type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and that's not it. I also uploaded their multiplication tables. It is the most fun song. So parents who are listening to this, please log on to the grade 4 C and D Google Classroom. It is awesome. I jammed to it the whole day. It's Justin Bieber mixed into 6 times tables.
Okay, so you have to. Is there like a little background there that you can throw so we can see what it's all about? Just so like a line or two there, Pam.
No, I'm a tutor, not a singer. But yes, it goes from like your 2 times table will start with the Spice Girls, and your 3 times table is it goes around what the children know about music nowadays, and for them it's clicked. Yeah. I've got grade 4s telling me I know my 6 times table, and that is just fantastic.
But it just shows that you take what the kids relate to and applying it into the curriculum that you have to obviously get out there. That makes it easier for them to actually adapt and learn, basically.
Yes.
Correct. Anybody else they want to add to that? Nobody? Okay. Oh, there we go. Zoe, yes.
Okay, so in terms of English, I don't necessarily do, any particular activity, that makes the class fun. But what I do with the kids is I just talk to them. I have a conversation with them. I let them know that I am also human I let them know that at some point I was also at school, I was also in their shoes. I let them know that if they have an issue, they can be comfortable to come to me with that issue or to go to any other tutor with that issue. So I tend to make jokes during my class. I'll let's say I'm busy writing up, an activity. I'm doing an activity with the kids and I'm writing up something and I make a mistake, spelling mistake. They think, oh, you're an English teacher, you shouldn't be making spelling mistakes or something. And I'm like, oh, look at that. Teacher also makes mistakes. I let them know that I can also make mistakes. Or if I'm
Yeah.
mispronouncing a word, I tend to do that thing when it's like, "Blah, blah, 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 sorry, I made a mistake." So I let them know that you can make mistakes. So I let them know that they can be calm in class, they can make their mistakes. I let them know that just as they are learning, I'm also there to learn. I'm learning from them and they're learning from me. So I think that also makes them very comfortable, because it's all about the comfortability in the online environment, because they need to figure out how to get their classrooms in order. They need to figure out how to submit assessments. They need to figure out how this whole online world works. And because they are between the ages of like 10 and 13, a lot of them, it's the first time that they're being exposed to this, because they're still young and their parents don't really want them involved with cell phones and technology as yet, because they're still the babies. So it's an adjustment for them. So we have to try to make the classes as cool and calm for them and as relaxing as possible, so that it takes their mind off that stress of how do I submit my homework later, or how do I submit this assessment later. So I think the live lessons really helps in terms of just calming them down. I think
Yes.
everyone can just be themselves, and it will allow the
Yes.
kids to be themselves as well.
That's so true. And just on that as well, with regards to when you mentioned the fact that we're supporting our kids, you listen, you engage, and stuff like that. I mean, we go over and beyond what is required of us as an academy, that we actually look at not only the academic needs of our students, but we also look at the mental health of that student. So if they've got personal problems and things like that, I mean, even like one of you, I think Pam mentioned the bullying that is happening, or some of our kids that was bullied. It's such a huge thing. And a lot of our students from last year, especially the last 2 years, the impact that the COVID had on the students themselves has been on such a huge scale that you find young kids suffering from depression, anxiety, things that wasn't known at that particular age. And these are things that you guys have to deal with on a daily basis. So really, thank you so much for taking the initiative, for being there for the kids. I just need to let you know that we appreciate what you are doing, even though we don't say it every single day. But I get to see it. I get the comments. I mean, Lorenza has just said, you guys are doing a great job and love you guys so much. The kids are enjoying the classes, and based on comments like that, it gives you, not just us but you as the tutors, it gives you that good feeling of what we're doing makes a difference. And this is coming from a parent. I do apologize, Pam, I know you had your hand up there, but I think Lily had what is it, Linkle. Sorry, my pronunciation is, I'm going to be like a Zoe. Zoe. So he did that. You had your hand up before, Pam, so I'll give it over to you.
Uh, Thank you so much, Melissa. And I love the fact that you are struggling with my name, because I normally have those moments in my class. And whenever I have those moments where I struggle with a name and then the students then correct me, it's more of like everyone is trying to help me. Then I explain to them that, guys, we come from different backgrounds. And as you are teaching me to pronounce your names, I can say my name right now. You will struggle saying it. And that shows us that we are indeed a rainbow nation. So I do appreciate what is happening right now, because it's exactly what happens in class. And I wanted to talk about life skills as a subject that I teach. It is a subject that is close to my heart. The reason for it being close to my heart is because I know that it's a subject where the learners actually find a space to share their experiences, to share their exposures, a place where we are about them actually building a relationship with themselves, because it is important to have a positive relationship with yourself that will help you have a positive relationship with others. So I enjoy it because it also helps them understand that they are social beings. They belong to different systems. They are families. They are part of your community. They have friends. And therefore, them having those relationships and understanding that first things first, relationship with myself. If I deal with myself in a positive way, if I have a self, a positive self concept of myself, that will help me have a better relationship with others. When someone makes a mistakes in my class, that turns into a lesson on its own. I have moments where the learners would be like, "Oh, I'm so clumsy." Then I say, "Wait a moment. What did you just say? Clumsy? Who's clumsy? Is that a positive or a negative self concept?" Then they'll be like, "No, ma'am, it's a negative concept." Then I would say to them, "Please change that statement. What would you say? I'm a human. I make mistakes." So it's a very important subject because they don't have that pressure of having to master specific concepts, do the calculations in a correct way, but they get to get a moment to discuss and share their experiences, make mistakes, and correct their mistakes. So that is a subject that is close to my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing that. And yes, so true. I love the fact life skill is such a broad subject. It's different topics. I mean, I literally think about, when I think life skills, I think of touching senses. You know, the different senses that you touch when dealing with a student, emotional, physical, you know, visual, hearing, all those type of senses that you are touching in life skills, which is phenomenal. Pam, you had your hand up earlier.
Okay, so it's on what Zoe and Leslie just said. Um, when I met my classes, the first thing I said to them is stupid is a swear word. Nobody is stupid. There is no such thing as a stupid question. The only stupid question is one you don't ask. And during all the assessments and everything we done, I had one student come to me and say, "Oh, I'm so stupid. I got 20 out of 25. And I didn't have to say a word because the whole class just went berserk and they said, "No, no, 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 no. You change that right now. You are not stupid." So it's going on what Leslie and Zoe were just saying now.
Thank you for that, Pam. Clay, I see that your hand was up there, Clay.
Yeah, it's just so amazing. Sometimes the things that we teach the kids, we aren't always aware of it. It's something that we've learned, and it's something that we then install into the kids. And this is what I love as well. About a year ago, I had a student who turned around to me and said, "I really hate," and then explained what they hated. And I remember stopping the class and saying, "Okay, guys, this is a very important lesson. Hate is a very strong word. We don't say we hate something because it's the most hurtful that you can say. I hate somebody or stuff like that because it hurts. So if you really, really don't like something, that's what you say. I really don't like what you're doing. I really don't like the way something is. Sounds so much more positive than I hate something. And a couple months later, as well, same as Pam had the experience, the kids in the class were sitting and we were sharing experiences. And one of the kids said, "Ma'am, I remember what you taught me, and I was going to say I hate something, but that's such a strong word, as you said. So I don't hate it. I just really dislike what somebody said now." And I'm like, there you go. Perfect. So this is how the life skills, it's the kids learn by example, and we are the examples.
That's true.
And that's what we're doing in the class.
Yeah. And you know what? And I always find that as much as, I mean, Claire, as the academic director for the phases, as much as you are back end and not physically involved in the teaching of the classes, but your support, what you're doing at the back end, guiding these tutors and just giving them what they need. And it brings me back to Seat Academy points of culture, where we've got to be, we have community. What is a community? It's about being there for each other. We've got to have collaborating with each other, because I mean, you're all working remotely, you're working from home, which means there's no real interaction with each other, but you still have to collaborate with each
Mm.
other with regards to, okay, let's do this, let's do that, that type of thing, as well. So Claire, thank you so much for being the cornerstone of the foundation and the intermediate phase. And then obviously Zoe over there as well. That's obviously your assistant. I'm sorry, I'm putting everything in brackets here, assistant, because she's got to take direction from you, and from her it filters down to the tutors. And this is why, and just listening to everybody speaking, you can hear that there's no animosity amongst you guys, which then flows through to the kids, because if you guys are happy, the kids are happy.
Mm.
Herbert, you are very quiet in the corner there. Come on, Herbert, give us a little bit of what you do in your classes.
Yeah, I just would like to come from a different direction. I've been teaching at the mainstream school for 43 years, and and comparing online schooling to main, it's such a difference. I used to sit with 40 to 50 children in my class. Um, they were totally just led by textbooks. There was no research. There was nothing. The textbook was the alpha and the omega. They had to just follow what's in the textbook. There was very limited participation because you had to complete the lesson and you had to go. Uh, there was hardly ever any research. And with these kids, if I example talk about living things, I ask them what is living things, and I give them 2 or 3 minutes. I didn't realize at first that these children are sharp at googling, because the next moment they will answer me what it is, you know. And then I realized, but these children are really really sharp. I mean, we underestimate children when it comes to this technology stuff. Whatever I did with them, they would have the answer like in 2 3 minutes time, because you have to wait to get them. And some of them, their general knowledge, the experiences, like Rolene said, they come with these animals and with their cats and this stuff, and now you must first have a conversation about it, because it's natural science, and natural science is all about nature, and even if
True.
the lesson is not about the cat, you have to stand a little while and talk. My son's pets are now as spiders, and then the one day I just showed them the spider, and they were so intrigued. And this is what I love about natural sciences, because I've taught them about being careful with the littering. I've told them about being careful with pollution. All have started their own little garden.
Oh,
They
wow.
now have a little garden. They have a little vegetable patch, and these projects with the tomatoes and the beans and the stuff, and they actually eat that stuff. Melissa, you must see the pumpkin some of them have. But what I love is that with natural sciences, they have started to appreciate nature. They really have
It's true.
started to appreciate nature, and I know that in the mainstream we wouldn't have been able to do that. There's no time to look at physical things, to look at gardens, to look at pictures and
Yeah.
stuff, because you have a syllabus to complete. You and But I really love. I've been with Seed now. This is my second year, and it's like an eye opener. I didn't realize that online teaching is so lekker. Really, it is. I really enjoy. And remember, Melissa and Claire and Zoe, I get paid to teach, so I can talk for the next half an hour. But let's give the others the
That's
chance.
yes. No, we know that. Yes, thank you so much for that, Herbert. And it's so true. I mean, I think to myself now, when I worked remotely, all right, I was very into my plants. I'm not Claire, if you can remember, we used to like go outside, like, guys, look at my plants, it's growing and it's growing. And I mean, that is me as an adult. But can you imagine a child physically having to see a little bean sprouting, becoming into a plant, and that plant actually physically giving off a vegetable or a fruit? It's such an amazing experience for the kiddies to experience, and they're implementing it not only for themselves, but they're sharing it with their mom, their dad, their brothers or their sisters that they've got at home. I'm going to give over to you now, Clay. Just give me 2 seconds. But also related to that, a lot of parents always comes to me and ask me, yeah, but what do we do with extramural activities? Or what can we add on? Because obviously those things needs to be onto as the homeschooling, you've got to do those type of things. But if you look at it, go to the beach, pick up the papers. That is part of your things like that. So Claire, I don't know, I'm not sure. You wanted to say something there, Claire?
I just wanted to add on to what we were talking about, what you mentioned now. I think that's the great thing about the whole online environment, even as a work environment. We would have our meetings outside. I'd go sit on the balcony. Melissa would go to her garden. I show my plants off. You showing your plants off. Kirsten's at her balcony showing us her stuff. That's a great thing. So we're talking work stuff, but we have that ability to not be in such a stressed environment anymore. And I think that's what's great about the online schooling. Like Herbert's saying about doing the nature, what's stopping us? Because that's what's great about the online. Lichle can literally go for life skills and go, guys, we're going to go sit outside on the grass now. Everybody take their camera, their cell phone, their laptop, whatever. You should have battery. We're going to go sit outside in nature for a bit. There's nothing stopping Rolene from doing an Afrikaans lesson on a tree or flowers outside. Give me the names of the sant, the bloem, the plant. Even, okay, not for coding so much, but you can make a great nature program on it. There's nothing stopping us from going, as you were saying, with the extracurricular activities, sending the kids out to the beach, go and collect the litter, come home, and we make a recycling project for NST, for example, or life skills. It can be, let's recycle and make a plant box from what you found on the beach type of thing. There's nothing stopping English from going and giving a whole lot of orals outside. You have to be under a tree with this specific background and stuff like that. That's the exciting thing about the online is we've taken out that anxiety, stress related to being in a box. We've taken the kids out of a box. We've taken our colleagues out of the box.
No, that is so true. I'm having a good laugh here. Lorenza says, now I understand why I had to go buy tomato seedlings and now I have tomatoes to eat. Thanks to Mr. Herbert. But you see, that is one thing. I mean, just look at that from starting. It's like I said, you're starting something from a little seedling and you're growing it up, and just seeing and sharing it with your family is amazing. But I also want to just go in arena with regards to the languages. I mean, it's like Ikle said, I'm going to get this name wrong. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I'm going to get your name wrong every time. I'm trying to see what your last name is, but it's not showing. But Rena, with regards to the students, because we come from different diversities. I mean, students from Cape Town, KZN, Gauteng, all these places, and some of them come together in your particular class. How do you deal with those different dynamics or the different language barriers in your class?
Like I said before, we have learners from different backgrounds and different languages. We have learners who have never done some African languages before, like Sepedi, and they're doing them. They're only doing them maybe in the intermediate phase or senior phase. What I do in that case is I start them from scratch. I start them with alphabets. I start them with phonics. I teach them word by word how to pronounce words. And I had a learner who is doing grade 4, and she could not read at all Sepedi. She doesn't know Sepedi at all. She has never done Sepedi at all. And I had to start her from ABC. And then last night, the mother sent me a video of the learner, and she was reading, and the video was fantastic. She has improved a lot. That's what makes us it really, really makes us happy to see learners learning a language from scratch and learning from us. It makes us happy because or we start them from scratch. It really, really makes us happy. And we have never really had this opportunity in the mainstream schools, because you find learners who already know the language. You are within a village whereby they do Sepedi, they speak Sepedi at home, they know Sepedi from scratch, so you don't have to like start them from scratch. So this is very, very interesting, and it makes us really happy to see a learner starting to read a word from scratch, being taught by who? By us. It really, really makes us happy.
Of course.
And
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for that, Rena. And that is also the best thing about online schooling is that you have the time to actually learn another language. I mean, I know that there is some of our students that actually does 3 languages with us, but it's not an in your face kind of learning academics that we're doing. It is that flexibility that we allow, that 30-minute breaks between those live classes, that pre-recorded lessons that we've got, the interaction that we have with the tutors and the students, which allows them that ability to actually grasp the information that you are going to be giving them. So which also gives them that opportunity to actually understand learning a new language from and I'll be honest with you, if somebody should tell me I'm gonna start a new language right now, I'm like, I don't have the time, I don't have the patience, and my brain is just not. I just feel I've got a block in front of my brain when it comes to a different language. It's like, no, please, no. I'll just stick with what I know, English and Afrikaans, and that is me. um, but anyway, is there anybody else that'd like to add anything in our discussion about showcasing your subject, or what you like to add is what you do differently in your class, or anything like that? Anybody? Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so to add on to the topic of languages, sometimes I know when I was at school, and I tell the kids this as well, um, the languages were the boring subjects at school, because we'll be reading, or the teacher would read, and then everyone would doze off. So it was the boring classes to an extent. So I tell the kids, I let them, before classes and after classes, I'm quiet. I'm in class, but I'm quiet. The kids want you to talk to them, but I'm quiet. I sit there, and all I do is I observe and I listen. And the things that they talk about, those are things that I tend to incorporate in some of my assessments. So if the kids have to do an oral, you know, I think back to the list. I go back to the list of topics that I wrote down because I was listening to them in class. So I write that down. If they're talking about something that they did in another subject, I write that topic down, and that's an oral. It's one of the oral topics. Or that is, it goes into the writing topic. So the languages, the boring subjects, as some would say, quotation marks, because obviously I don't think so, but I think that other language teachers would agree with me. Our subjects are the best. But essentially we still need to make it more interesting for the kids, because there are those who say, you know what, I speak English as my home language, so I don't have to put that much effort in, or I don't really this is easy. But in reality, it's not as easy as it seems, because there's a lot of rules when it comes to
Yes.
language. And we can't always remember all those rules because it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, English is a weird language. Like the word read and read, you spell it exactly the same. Exactly the same. Read and read. So those are things that confuses kids, confuses kids. And then sometimes kids will ask me, Miss, why is this like that? And I'm like, I don't know. At some point in our history, Shakespeare said that word, and now we're dealing with it. That's all I say to them. Shakespeare gave us that word, and now we have to deal with it. So we need to also incorporate other subjects into our subject,
Mm.
to make it interesting. Like the other day, I was going through transactional writing with the kids, and we're talking about a recipe and recipe writing and how to write a recipe. And part of the activity was calculating how much money they would need to buy all the ingredients for this recipe. So that's where maths came in. And they were like, oh, why are we doing maths in English? And I was like, because this is life. In life, you're going to need to learn how to use all these different things that you are learning to get through life. So I tell them, you're not good at Afrikaans, you're not good at Sepedi, you're not good at this language and that language, but you need to try and make the connections between a language that you are comfortable with. So I've got kids in my class, they don't speak English because their home language is Sepedi, or their home language is Afrikaans or Xhosa or Zulu. So um if I know the Afrikaans version of the word, I'll tell them. When we did direct speech and indirect speech the other day, I was like, have you guys ever heard of that? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, maybe you heard about it in Afrikaans, directe and indirecte rede. And they're like, yes ma'am, I know what that is. I'm like, it's the exact same thing, just in
Same thing.
English, but it's the exact same thing. And then they could do the activity because they did it in Afrikaans. So
Yes.
those are the things we need to make the connections
Mhm.
as well, because we assume that our subjects has its own little bracket or its own little area, its own little booth, but it doesn't. We are all in the
Mm.
same room, we are all intertwined, and we need to make the connections as tutors to also help the kids do better. And the kids
Yes.
also
No,
like
that's
the
so true.
fact
I
that you
like
make
what you
those
said there.
connections. Yeah,
Of course.
the kids also like those
And if
connections.
you think about it, yeah, if you think about it, when you're at mainstream school, and I mean, I take it from myself, everything, if it's English, everything is in English. There wasn't a chance that, but I would understand it better if it was in Afrikaans, or I would understand it better if it was in my own home language. So with us, if you have a problem, then you can translate it into a language that the student understands. And I mean, Zoe just made a perfect example. You're an English tutor in an English class, but you're taking Afrikaans, incorporating it into your learning or your teaching style, so that all the kids can understand that. And the same with what I've heard from Rena, and everybody else that's in the languages, Rolene as well with Afrikaans. And I mean, even Afrikaans, I myself, I can speak the language. Don't put me on the spot by asking me to speak Afrikaans, because then I'm going to stutter with my Afrikaans. But if somebody must phone me and I can hear the person is Afrikaans, I can relate. But then there are certain words, when it comes to those bigger words, then it's like, okay, what does this really mean? Or what is this Afrikaans word? And I'm like, and then eventually I'm like, I do apologize. I'm trying, because it's easier to relate to that person in their language than it is for you to actually relate in a language that makes you feel comfortable. So thank you for doing that, guys. I mean, wow, really wow. But I want to speak to Monique. I know Monique was here yesterday as well. Monique does coding. And coding, as I understood it, I know I've learned something new yesterday. So the little ones, it's not really learning a new language, as languages comes in later and stuff like that. But Monique, just a little bit for those viewers that didn't watch the webinar yesterday. Coding, what is coding, and how can we incorporate coding into the society or into the kids of where they are heading? How does coding adapt to their future or things like that?
Well, Melissa, coding is technology, and everything is going to be technology. It's already technology now. So we are preparing them for creating big things one day. So yeah, like I said yesterday, for the little ones from grade 2 to 6, we are looking at a language. It's English still, but it's block based. So it's coding in blocks, where from next year, the grades, if you're grade 6 this year, and I am starting with the grade 6 this year, a bit of line based coding, where it's just going to be informal English, where you're putting all these words together and you're going to create these amazing projects. So, like you said, our guys are creating technology for the future, so we have to teach them this. And we are very fortunate that at SEED, because not lots of schools do have coding yet. I think it's only this year that we actually got a draft on the coding CAPS curriculum.
Yeah, that's
so. I'm trying to incorporate the whole CAPS curriculum with our coding this year. So we are fortunate to have this, because there's a handful of schools with coding. So we say every student at SEED do coding, so we are preparing them. So if they do get in the FET stage or so, they can actually choose, this is what I want to do one day. But at least they have the background of doing this now.
Awesome stuff. And that's a nice part of what we are doing with the coding and the technology, is that we're trying to implement certain aspects of learning and adding innovation with growth and development, so that we can prepare our students for their future. We're not looking at a generation of what we are used to, but we also, through learning and teaching and growth, we ourselves have to learn, adapt, and obviously expand, so that we can prepare our students. I mean, if I look at Herbert, you heard Herbert has been 42 years at teaching mainstream school. And I'm sure, I mean, Claire, when Herbert started, it was a case of, I used to look at Herbert on the live, I'm like, okay, where's the sound? Just give me a minute, But it's all about learning, growth, and where we've been and where we're going. That makes our journey so unique. It makes it so exciting. But I just want to give you guys just a few seconds, a minute or so, whatever you want to. Last comment, motivation, whether it is for our current students. We're kind of like going on our first term break as well, so it's holiday time. So is there any messages out there that you'd like to yes, Claire. Is there any message that you want to put out there for other students that will be joining us this year or next year, or message that you'd like to give out there to our current kiddies to enjoy their holidays or anything? You put up your hand, you can go first. I'm not going to nominate anybody, so anybody's welcome to go first. Just unmute yourself, please. Go ahead. Okay, Pam, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so guys, you've done awesome in your math, and I was very proud of all of you. And keep doing what you're doing. It was most students' first term, so they felt a little what's the word I'm looking for? Overwhelmed. So when they got their marks and it wasn't what they wanted, I got this message but that's not what I wanted. I want you guys to keep working to your goal. Awesome. And don't stop.
Awesome. And that also gives them something to look forward to. So part of life skills is goal setting. So they've got their first mark. So now they know, okay, but this is what I want. So what do I need to do to actually get there? So there's there's a goal and there's a plan, and that is obviously where you guys meet them halfway with planning and where we're going. Thank you so
It's only
much for that.
3 points.
Only 3 points. Wow.
They wanted full marks and they didn't get it. And yeah, we're in the
But
process of still marking. So, guys, please don't get disheartened. We are for you.
awesome stuff. Herbert, I see that your hand was up there, Herbert.
Yeah, I wanted to ask if I could leave the classroom, please. I'm only joking. Um, yeah, I just want to say to my NST kids, it's starting to winter's now coming in slowly. It's now autumn, so get your vegetable patch ready during the holidays. Start working on it. Uh, it's time to plant carrots. So you have to plant your carrots. After the holidays, I would love to see some pictures on how you started with your plants, and also how you fighting against pollution. I want to hear from you. Use this holiday because, like I told you, and I'm telling you again, that natural science is part of your life, not only for a day, not only for a week, but for the rest of your life. So you need to make natural science part and parcel of your everyday life. Enjoy the holidays. We a little bit sad that we're not going to see you for a long time now, couple. But when you're back, we'll be ready for you guys. Enjoy the holidays.
Thank you, Herbert. Monique, I saw you putting up your hand there.
Oh no, my kids just need to code away, and if you get it wrong, try something new. Put something else together, but just try. Yes. So I want to see the amazing games after the holiday.
Oh wow, awesome stuff. Anybody else? Rena?
I'd like to say to my learners, those who do not have the background language, background knowledge in the language, that don't worry, you got this. You are doing great, and you're still gonna do great. Do not look down on yourself. We are all here to learn. As I teach you, I'm also learning. I did not know I could teach someone from scratch, but now I have learned that I can teach someone from scratch, and therefore do not worry. Do not be discouraged. You're gonna get this thing right.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Rena. And once again, it's a case of even though we are teaching, we are also learning through the process. So I've got Charity. Sorry, second name is going to do for me for now. So Charity, anything from your side?
Thank you, Melissa. Again. I would like to also touch a bit on social sciences, then I close off. With social sciences, it is a very interesting subject also. The learners actually enjoy the history part of social sciences because they get to learn more on the connection of how societies have changed over time. We are currently talking about the Khoisan with the Gr.4-6, and they enjoy the fact that they used to use plants for medicines. And then I bring it to their attention that, guys, the plants are actually still used today. And they'll be like, how, ma'am? Because we are using pills. I'm like, they take the ingredients. Do you ever take a moment, look into the ingredients that they have used for the pills that you are using? Just notice that you will find the name of the plant that you've just learned about, and they were like, ma'am, I will do that today. So they enjoy it. They have a lot of questions about the way they lived. They were like, ma'am, when they scared that it's going to rain and they don't have any shelter, they used to use grass for their shelter and all of that. So all of those questions, what if a snake came by? What would they do? And then I'll explain to them, remember the plants. they were used for medicines. So they were very clever. They did not have school like us, but they were very, very clever and they enjoy that. They have a lot of questions. They Google, they watch videos, they come back to class and they share. They enjoy it a lot, as well as with the maps. It was so amazing when one of the learners, we were talking about the scales. And he was like, "Oh, ma'am, now I understand. We actually have scales on Google Maps." And I said, "Can you share?" And then he was like, "When you zoom in, that's when you get the large scale. When you zoom out, that's when you get the small scale." And it was an amazing moment of sharing, because it also showed that it also showed, sorry, that they think outside the box and they are able to make connection with everything that they are learning. They incorporate it with the technology that they have. So I want to say to my students, I'm very proud of you and making me proud. I can't wait for second term to be with you guys.
Awesome stuff. I love the way that that even while on class, just the zooming in and zooming out, that how they made that connection. And I loved what you said, thinking out of the box. I literally had, and I'm going to share this before I go to Relene. So I do an action coaching once a week, and the guys gave me, and I'm the only female in this class, and they literally gave me like little 9 dots. So 1, 2, 3, and three across. So it's 9 dots in a block. And they said the idea is to think outside of the box. I'm like, okay, cool. And they said, so draw 4 lines and connect all the dots. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, how do you connect 4 lines? 1, 2, 3. That was the normal thing. It's like a Z. But if you go that way, you're still missing the 2 sidelines. And I'm like, okay, so make a C and then go up. Nope, still doesn't, because it doesn't connect everything. And the whole idea of thinking out of the box is actually drawing your lines over the 9 dots. So you actually go straight down, past that, and across. So you connect it, you come over, and you come down. But you're outside, your lines is outside the 9 dots. And I'm like, wow, I learned something here. And the guys actually thought it was quite funny, because me being the only female in the class did not know how to do that. So they were like literally pointing fingers at me. So, but yeah, I thought I'll just share that with you guys. But anyway, Relene, any last words from your side? Relene, are you still with us? Okay, let's go to Zoe then. Or Claire. Anybody?
Okay. Now I'm good. I'm here. Can you guys hear me? Am I clear?
Claire or Zoe, are you available?
I'm speaking.
Yeah, Zoe's talking, then me. Last.
Okay, just checking that everyone
Yes.
can hear me. Okay, so for all the kids, this is not only for the English kids. This literally for all intermediate phase kids. I just want to tell you guys that um good job on finishing the first term. Because many of you are brand spanking new to Seat Academy. Some of you are brand spanking new to online schooling. So the fact that made it, that you made it through the term, I need you to be proud of yourselves for that. Never mind the assessments or the marks that you got, because you can improve come term 2. You can improve come term 3 and term 4. But be proud of yourselves that you made a change to your normal way of doing things and you made it through the change. And that proves that as people, we are doing what we've always been intended to do, which is adapt and evolve. So, good job to you guys. Be proud of the fact that you made a change and keep making that change. And just work hard on all your subjects. Do the best that you can do. Don't do the best that your friend is doing. Don't do the best that anyone else is telling you to do. Do the best that you can do. Okay? Not every person is good at every little thing, but as long as you try, that is most important. So thank you.
Awesome stuff. Okay.
Hi, is it my turn? Yeah, I want to just carry on with what Zoe said. And there's a saying, it says, try, and then you try again. And
Thank you
especially
for
when it
that,
comes.
Zoe. Such nice, encouraging words. Just want to find out, Rulin, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Can you just
Hello?
unmute yourself if you can, Rulin? Then you can just go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. I just want to carry on with what Zoe said. And there's a saying, try, and try again. And especially when it comes to Afrikaans, it's a
Yes.
very, Afrikaans can be a tongue twister. There are words that are very similar in English
Yes, we
and in
can.
Afrikaans. Hi. All right. But just try your best, and thank you to the students that work so hard at always trying their best. I've got a student, she always asks me, teacher, I'm going to type what I want to say in the chat box and you must tell me if the Afrikaans is correct. And then she goes on to Google Translate quickly, she goes to check, and then she puts it on the chat box. I could just make sure, because she wants to try and she wants to improve herself. And then the other thing I wanted to say was what I like about Seed Academy, and when I got the job and I saw that there's so many African languages, I thought, wow, what school offers so many languages, and languages that the students can choose, that they are comfortable with. So I think really, please, if you're interested in online schooling, please speak to Melissa, because this is really a wonderful school, wonderful online school that gives so much exposure to all the different languages and the subjects, and especially to adult education. I think that's fantastic. I mean, there's so many adults that have not got a matric. So thank you, Melissa. Thank you to management. But yes, Seat Academy is our number one school.
All right, Melissa, we're going to wait for you to catch up to us. She's still listening to.
Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. We're number one, guys. Did you hear that? We are number one. Thank you so much for that, Rulin. Really appreciate. Really? I'm already here. I'm waiting for you to catch up to me, Claire.
No, my darling, you just caught up to us. So sorry for those of you that are sitting there. There's obviously some sort of glitch
Claire, don't
there,
do this
but
to me.
it's fine. We're here. All right, Melissa, I'm going to go ahead.
I'm not. I'm waiting for you.
Anyway, I just wanted to add from my side to everyone is anyone who's thinking about joining Seat Academy.
Okay, so
yesterday
either my connection is bad
about us being,
or there's something wrong. Claire, can you go ahead? See?
So there's obviously yesterday I spoke about the fact that we are a community, and I feel that that's still very much applicable. It doesn't matter what phase we're in. We're a community, we're a family. It takes a village to raise a generation, and I feel that we are pioneers. We are pioneering, guys. 3 years ago, I don't think online schooling was even a thing. Even 6 years ago. How many years ago when cell phones came out? I think I was about 10 when I first saw my very first cell phone, and it was the size of a brick on the side of your head. Now We have
You.
technology at our fingertips in Google and what we want to look at. We never had that before. So we are the pioneers in where we're going to, what we're doing in these kids' lives. So join us and be that pioneer as a parent, and let your kid join and be a pioneer in where we're going to the future and how we are going to change the future with what we're teaching our kids now, and how schools are different now compared to what they were 5 years ago. So that's it from my side. Thank you, everyone, for your great support and being on here. Thank you to our parents who have joined us. Awesome. Thank you for the feedback. We know we love our staff as much as you guys love these beautiful faces. We love you too. So thank you very, very much. And from my side, that's a wrap. Melissa, over to you.
Thank you, Claire.
Okay, there seems to have been, yes, we are number one. Thank you, Lana. We're having a bit of a connection issue from Melissa's side, so we apologize for that. Thank you, everyone, again for joining us. We really appreciate all the support we get from all of you parents. Thank you for those that watched. Thank you to my epic team sitting here talking to everyone and sharing how much they love working for Seat Academy and being part of our great family and community. And thank you to Melissa for spearheading the whole open day progress to sit and chat and what we do, and that we get to share how much we love what we do. So thank you very much, everyone. I don't know who's going to be shutting off in the background, so I think one by one, everyone can just basically exit and leave. Thank you, everyone.
Claire,
Ciao from all of us.
on that, sorry, we can say thank you to you and Zoe for guiding the ship.
Thank you. Thank you, Pam. We appreciate
Thank-
it. We
thank
try
you
our
for
best.
keeping us on our toes.
Thank you very much. I see Melissa's back, so she'll end off properly for us. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear? Oh, thank you. Oh my word. I do apologize about that, everybody. Thank you, Claire, for just ending that off for me. I just want to say thank you to our viewers. Thank you to the team for being participating with regards to this. I'm going to end it off now before I get cut off once again. So I do apologize about that. Guys, have a fabulous school holiday. I know it's 3 more days before holiday, so please, I still want to see you online, so you want to hear about you and share those recipes and everything that I've been seeing on the groups there. Thank you so much. Any videos that you guys want to share with our parents that you get from the students, please send it to me. You can let me know. Okay, Claire, I don't know what that is, but anyway, bye.
Sorry, there's a comment quickly.
There
At the
is?
bottom.
Okay, hold on. Hi, Seat Academy. Hi, Seat Academy. May we ask a question? Yes, Bella. If you want to type your question. Is there anything else below that? Okay, if we have a complaint, how do we go about it? Okay, so Bella, we've got a customer service team that you can be in contact with. You can either send it to support@seatsa.co.za. Alternatively, one of our customer representatives is on Facebook. So I'm sure she'll see this question and she'll be able to respond to you, and you can contact her directly. Also, depending on what kind of question it is, you can then also speak to Zoe or Claire or even myself if you can't get in touch with him. But we are available, and you're more than welcome to make contact with us.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm seeing all these comments that's just gone onto Facebook, but okay, I'm going to read them later, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.